Hey everybody, the recent market turbulence has left some great bargain opportunities for investors, and I'm going to look at a few specifically from the portfolio of Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway itself has actually held up really well, but some of the stocks in their portfolio have not. So I'm going to talk about five great Berkshire Hathaway stocks you can buy on sale right now, and two that I would probably avoid for the time being, even though a lot of investors seem to like them. Before we dive in, please take a minute and check out the link you see on your screen, fool.com/Frankel. Get the top 10 stocks to buy right now from the Motley Fool so you get even more investment ideas. It is the best way to support this work I'm doing on YouTube. Again, fool.com/Frankel, and I'll put that list in the description. And stay tuned after this video for a message from the Motley Fool. So let me dive right in and share my screen. We're going to talk about five specific Warren Buffett stocks that I think are great buys right now. There we go. The first one is one of his biggest ones, and one that Warren Buffett has reduced his exposure to lately. Still, one of their big investments is Bank of America. I bought more shares of this in recent times, and really, it's down by more than 20% from its 52-week high, and it shouldn't be. There are some legitimate fears that if we're in a recession, consumer spending could fall. Consumer defaults could tick upward a little bit. I think that's more than priced in at this point. This is a really stable bank. Like credit card exposure is less than 10% of their loans. Mostly corporate loans and mortgages are on their balance sheet. So good time to take a look at them. Number two is Amazon, one of my favorite Magnificent Seven stocks. And I've said before that I think Amazon will be the first $5 trillion company in the U.S. stock market, and I stand by that prediction. That's a typo right there. It should say $1.93 trillion. But I do think it will be first to 5 trillion. It is becoming much more profitable. The management team has done a great job of maximizing efficiency. Um, there are some legitimate concerns with tariffs. A lot of the things you buy on Amazon don't come from the United States. So there are some big concerns there that sellers could pull items from the platform, and people could buy less of the products they've been buying if prices go up. Um, but with the stock about 25% below its 52-week high, I think it is a great time to take a second look at Amazon. And it's a big company. It's not going to double or triple overnight, but I do think this will beat the market long term. Number three, one of Warren Buffett's other few bank stocks, and this is the one he hasn't reduced lately. I think it's the only one. Berkshire owns just over 10% of Ally Financial, ticker symbol ALLY. It's one of four bank stocks that I own. It's a $10 billion company, trades for about 20 times earnings. It's a highly profitable business. If you're not familiar, Ally is the biggest auto lender in the United States that isn't owned by an automaker. It was spun off from General Motors around the time of their bankruptcy in the financial crisis era, but has really evolved into a fully featured online bank. They have consumer deposit accounts, an investment platform, things like that. Solid dividend. It's 28% below its 52-week high. And just like Bank of America, consumer health concerns, auto demand could fall if we're in a recession, for example. But I do think it's overdone at this point. And this is a very well-run, highly profitable bank that deserves to be considered for a portfolio. Number four, and this might surprise you, the Chinese stock in Buffett's portfolio, BYD. You could buy it directly on the U.S. exchanges at the ticker symbol BYDDF. The format might vary depending on what broker you use, but you can find this. This is a pretty big electric car maker. BYD and Tesla go number one and number two. They swap back and forth for the most electric vehicles produced by a single company in the world. It is only 11% off the highs, which might be surprising being considering what's going on between the U.S. and China, but they're not really affected by tariffs. They sell primarily in China. Lots of growth potential here. They're doing a great job of building out their various product lines. BYD is one of the best run electric car companies in the world. So it's one that's been on my radar for some time and now could be a good opportunity to take a closer look if you don't own it already. Warren Buffett, this got on Buffett's radar from Charlie Munger, who called their CEO one of the best that he's ever seen. So number five, I like home builders in general right now. Buffett owns one called NVR that's been one of the most successful builders in the United States, especially for investors. They're best known for their brand Ryan Homes, but they own a few others as well. This is a pricey stock on a per share basis. They're one of the few that still refuse to split. It trades for about $7,300 a share. But if you look at it on a valuation basis, it's not that expensive. They're about 16 times earnings, which this is a best in breed home builder in terms of just financial quality. So they deserve a little bit of a premium to their peers. That's actually on the higher end of valuation for home builders, but they've dropped 27% from their highs. Tariff concerns, a lot of materials used to build houses come from other places, specifically Canada, for lumber. And I do think that's kind of overblown. I think the tariffs are going to kind of be on and off for a little while, but I think ultimately um, they'll come to some kind of resolution. Uh, it is still a strong environment for new homes because existing home inventories are very low still. So it's a big opportunity for home builders. I think there is going to be a lot of long tail demand once rate or pent up demand once rates fall. And no one knows when it's going to happen, but I would be willing to bet that mortgage rates will be significantly lower in 3 or 4 years than they are today. Just kind of my feeling. So NVR is one of the Buffett stocks that I like right now. And now two that I would stay away from. This probably won't surprise anybody. Is Apple, still the most valuable company in the world. Ticker symbol AAPL. Actually lost that title briefly in the past week to Microsoft. Trades for about 40 times earnings. Pretty minuscule dividend yield. It is 23% below the highs, but I honestly don't. I think it's still pricey considering the uncertainty between the U.S. and China right now. Apple, they make their products in China. That's a big market for a big part of their market and business strategy. So I would avoid them for now. And the other one in Buffett's portfolio I would avoid mainly on valuation concerns is Visa. Ticker symbol is V. Trades for 32 times earnings. And it's not a bad, you wouldn't go wrong buying Visa. It's held up really well. You can see it's only 8% below the highs. In my opinion, they're not adequately pricing in recession risks into the stock. If we're in a global recession and spending falls, then Visa's fee income is going to fall accordingly. And it could take a pretty big hit profit wise. So I don't think that this is a stock that should trade for that type of valuation right now. Again, not a bad company, nothing wrong with it, but I would avoid it for the time being. I'd love to know what you think of my buy and avoid lists. I'll do my best to answer any questions you have individually. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for a message from The Motley Fool right now. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You all know how much I love researching new stocks and trying to find the next best investment. So I'm proud to partner with The Motley Fool to bring you 10 stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beaten the market by more than 5 times. Go to fool.com/Frankel to get your 10 stock picks now. The Motley Fool Stock Advisor returns are 914% as of January 7th, 2025, and are measured against the S&P 500 returns of 174% as of January 7th, 2025.